This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
No way.
From the Sanosi 1K studios of Arizona, 3-1-0 BKFC Bombshell. Taylor Starling will be joining us tonight. UFC Vegas 56 preview show. My New York Rangers are playing as well. Let's have some fun with the MMA-Holes.
Wonderful.
Welcome, friends, to the MMA-Holes live stream. We're here, we're live, we're wonderful.
Wonderful.
It's good to see everyone in the chat. I hope everyone's got their popcorn ready because we got a fantastic show tonight, as it is UFC's back in business this Saturday night, and we're going to have a fantastic show for you guys. We got the news, we got the stories, I got my Rangers playing tonight as well. 1-1, end of the first period. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a special opportunity tonight as we love bare knuckle over here on the MMA-Holes. I know it's an MMA channel, but we love carnage, as the kids like to say. We love to watch people beat the living snot out of each other, and why not have the baddest BKFC female fighter, actually, let's just say this, the baddest BKFC fighter in the fucking world, undefeated with no gloves, Miss Taylor Killer B Starling, live on the show. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
You called me a bombshell, and listen, I don't feel like a bombshell right now, but thank you.
Well, if this is not your bombshell stage, I mean, I don't know what the hell is your bombshell stage. Here's the thing, Taylor, I got to say this. We have a lot of ugly guys on this show, including myself over here. So it's a pleasure to have someone attractive besides my wife, who is downstairs with the baby. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. I just got done training, so I ran straight home, sweat and all, to just hop on here. So I'm super excited.
I appreciate you coming here. And listen, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of bare knuckle. I'm a fan of you. In fact, we here on the MMA-Holes, we call UFC fights and we have a lot of fun with the mixed martial arts world, but we complain a lot over here on the MMA-Holes. And it's because of female MMA. We're not the biggest fan of that, but female bare knuckle boxing is like ridiculously fun to watch. Why? With no gloves on, do you girls know how to just put on a show?
I don't know. And I always say that bare knuckle is like the hot MILF club. There's like a lot of hot moms in bare knuckle too. I don't know. It takes a special kind of screw to be loose to be in bare knuckle. And then, like, honestly, bare knuckle has some of the hottest females on the roster as well. And just, I think that's what makes it special. Now it's gotten to the point where if there's a bare knuckle card and there's not a female on it, people are pissed and they like refuse to watch it.
We're trying to figure this out. I mean, like a lot of people with, just recently the UFC had a fight with Rose Namajunas and Carla Esparza. People were booing. It was boring, blah, blah, blah. But when you gals get in the cage, especially you, I mean, it is just must-see TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of psycho. So I love, a lot of people tell me that looks are deceiving. So, I mean, right now I'm all gross and disgusting, but I love dolling myself up and then being like a complete freak show savage when it comes to fighting. I love the looks are deceiving aspect of it. I love when people say like, oh, you don't look like you would fight. And then I get to go in there and I fight with my heart. So that just is a total package.
Sure are the total package here, and I'm sure BKFC is happy to have you on the roster. The exciting fights, the look, the whole package. This is exciting to know what's next for BKFC. And you, I noticed that BKFC has linked up with a Triller as well. This is true?
Yes, they have. I mean, I haven't heard too much about it other than when it first came about and I saw it on social media. But other than that, I haven't really heard too much. But if that's the case, I think that's a wonderful thing. I think it's going to bring a lot of great things for bare knuckle. Like, I don't know if it has to do with Triller, but they just updated their app today, bare knuckle did. And I went and re-downloaded it and looked at it, and it was amazing. Like, the app was fire. So it's like, if Triller had anything to do with that and the way that things look like they're going, I think it could be a great little happy marriage.
Well, yeah, we know that Triller has some big pockets and they put on some very massive events. I also heard that they're going to let Bare Knuckle do their thing, but I guess they're part of the team, so that's great. Are we talking some big bucks in the pockets over here for the fighters? Nothing? Have we heard anything about this?
I tried to talk without getting in trouble. Not for me yet, so maybe some of them, maybe some not. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it does. I'm trying to literally claw my way to the fucking top of the mountain and make sure that I do everything to solidify why I should be getting paid well.
Speaking about clawing your way to the top, I noticed that you've been on a little bit of a break here, but you did make some noise as you showed up at an event. You stomped through the crowd, you grabbed a belt, and you said, "Let's go." What was that about?
You know, Christine Ferreira, if you guys don't know, I have a little bit of a beef with Christine Ferreira, and she talks a lot of shit, and I think nobody has really been the one to step up to her and give it right back. And all she did was run her mouth and say, "Come get my belt, come take my belt. If you want this belt, come take it. I want to see you," saying stuff like, "I want to taste your honey," just like stuff that was off the wall and talking shit. And like, I don't put up with shit. Like, I'm the sweetest person. But if someone's saying shit like that, fuck you. Like, I'll come right to you and rip that belt right from you. Like, I don't care. So I just thought, you know what? She's here. She didn't really know I was going to be there. So I just seen her, and in the spur of the moment, I was like, why not start some shit? So.
Well, it was interesting. It was all over the internet. And a guy like David Feldman, are they excited when you guys do something like that? Like, I mean, they're not telling you to do this, yet you're marching through the crowd and doing this. They get pumped up about that?
Yeah, the crazy thing is so many people thought it was staged, and it really wasn't. I was giggling because I don't get, it takes a lot for me to get out of pocket and get upset. Like, I think the only thing that you could really do to get me actually upset is anything related to my children. And so I just thought it was funny, but no, Bare Knuckle had no idea. The cops were about to take me away. And when I walked into the fights, they were like, what the fuck is going on? And what happened outside? And they had no clue. And they didn't even know until later on. And they were just like, oh shit. They really didn't say much about it, but they were shocked. Like, they didn't know it was happening. They didn't know that was going down. Like, nobody really knew because it wasn't fake. Like, I genuinely just wanted to go up to her and rip her belt from her.
It's awesome. It's so much fun to watch. Like, I like theatrics. I like the sideshow aspect of combat sports as well. I think it's fun. You know, it brings in casual fans, the hardcore fans get a little bit more juiced up for these fights. So now I was kind of doing a little bit of research here, and I noticed that they're holding Taylor Starling back over here. I mean, why are we not fighting? I mean, looks like you're ready to go over here. Is there any breaking news or anything to drop?
It's coming. But I'll say this, like, another reason why I went up to Christine and took her belt is I have spent a lot of time. I'm always myself. I'm authentic. So me doing that was still myself, but I've learned that being quiet and playing the nice game isn't going to get you what you want. I've learned now that people want to see you speak up. People want to see the theatrics and stuff like that. So I sat there for a while trying to be nice and twiddle my thumbs and just be the sweet, innocent Taylor. And then I was like, well, yes, I'm going to have to bring out the rowdy side. But I will say I think it's going to pay off. There's a card happening August 27th. I can't say too much, but it's going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is actually where I lived most of my life. So it's going to be a huge deal for me. That's all I'm going to say. I can't say too much.
Okay. Does something involving, let's say, it rhymes with felt. Is it going to be involved in this thing?
With felt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Or spampiumship. Does it rhyme with, like, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. You're
I'll
not
say
saying
that.
anything, just, maybe it could rhyme with that, correct?
It could possibly rhyme with that.
Okay,
Yes.
very interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news on the MMA-Holes. Taylor Starling's fighting for the chip. Oh, okay, I'm only
Stop.
kidding.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, fair enough. Are you familiar with Felony Charles Bennett?
Yes.
He's a friend of ours over here. I mean, weird guy to have as a friend, but I love the guy.
Yeah.
Do you have any crazy stories about him, maybe behind the scenes, smoking some weed, or how he drops his pants and acts like a wacko?
No, I wish. I never have really talked to him. He was there when me and Christine got into the scuffle, and I've never really went up to him and talked to him or have any personal story to tell. I wish I did. I think he's amazing, but no, disappointingly enough, no, I don't.
We're gonna have to set up something where you guys put some content out there. I mean, he's a crazy bastard. Okay, let's go back in time now a little bit. You mentioned Albuquerque, New Mexico, and when I think Albuquerque, I think John Jones. I think Jackson Wink and stuff over there. You've said in previous podcasts that you have trained in Albuquerque. Have you ever dabbled over at Jackson Wink?
No, I actually trained at, I guess you could call it their opposing gym, but it's called Fitted HB. I trained with Ray Borg when he was over there, Timmy Means when he was over there, a girl named Amber Brown. She fought for Invicta, a lot of savage people. So that was kind of like their rivalry gym. But Ray Borg, I think, is over now with Jackson Wink or something like that. But yeah, I was at Fitted HB, and I trained with some really awesome killers, and it's where I got my start. So it's exciting to go home and fight at home.
You have a wild story. I was I went to the gym today. I don't do it much. I'm an old, out of shape father right now. But I was listening to a bunch of interviews, and I was like, you know what? This is an interesting story here. Here you are. You're what in the MMA world? Were you like 1-1 or something, or you were 2-2 or something like that? You had a rough MMA start, correct?
Yeah.
And
as an amateur, yeah.
Yeah, so you dabble into the MMA thing, then you do a little boxing, kickboxing as well, correct?
Yeah, I actually fought for glory.
You fought for glory? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So wait, how many fights in pro did you fight for glory?
Just one. Actually, I fought one time for them, and then after that fight, I had a 3-fight contract with them, and it's kind of when the transition of, I think, Glory started losing their shit and falling apart. So it was kind of like I was sitting there like, yeah, when am I going to fight again? And then I saw on the internet like, oh, Glory's going bankrupt, and I was like, ah. So a lot of people, they had to switch ownership and stuff like that. So I kind of just went my own way. I was like, fuck this, I'm not waiting anymore. But I did get to fight for Glory, and it was really cool.
That is pretty cool. And then you went into boxing as well, right? You did a little bit of that, and then somehow so how do you stumble into the bare knuckle world?
I heard about it. I had seen it online, I think, when they first came about, and I was like, damn, that looks savage as fuck, and I would love to do that. And I remember at the time, the gym I was training at and the coach I was under, I mentioned it, kind of just to get my feelers out to see what he would say, and he was like, absolutely fucking not would anybody in my gym fight bare knuckle. And I was like, damn. So I kind of just put it to the back of my mind, and I would watch everything every now and then. And then and I was fighting in MMA and boxing and kickboxing, I love to fight. I'm a scrapper. So I was happy with that, but something was missing. And when I saw that Paige Van Zandt signed to bare knuckle, I was like, fuck that. I want to fight Paige Van Zandt. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to claw and tooth and nail until I can fight Paige Van Zandt in bare knuckle. I thought I would have been a great debut fight for her, and it just didn't work out that way. But it definitely got my name in the hat. I spent probably a good year just harassing these people and harassing everybody that I knew to get me in there. And I think it was when I fought Teresa Segala, they gave me one shot. They were like, listen, you either take this fight, and I think I only took it on a month notice, which is not terrible, but not usually the full fight camp. They're like, you either take this fight or we don't want anything to do with you. Stop bothering us. And so, yeah, I took the fight, and here I am. Life has changed. And I just knew in my soul that it was meant for me. I'm a striker. I would always fight MMA and be like, man, if I could just do boxing but with MMA gloves on or nothing on, it would be so amazing. And here I am.
It's crazy how you fit perfectly into that. You're undefeated in bare knuckle. And my God, when you said Paige Van Zandt, why couldn't they put that together? I can't stand her. I mean, you beating up Paige Van Zandt would be fantastic.
I tried to make it happen. I was like, look, guys, I'm cute and blonde too. Like, let us go at it. I really want to do it. I was pushing so hard for that. But it just didn't happen. And I'm kind of happy. Like, things worked out the way that they were supposed to. And here I am.
There you go. And so now it is pretty wild here. Like, you're talking about your rise up into the bare knuckle squared circle. And you're a pretty girl. I mean, this is pretty obvious that you are an attractive young lady. When you're walking into these gyms, especially a young girl getting to, were all the guys like just throwing themselves at you? Like, how did that work?
No. No, I'm kind of a bitch. So, I mean, not a bitch. I don't want to say like that because that makes me just sound like an asshole. But I'm very much so like one of the guys, I guess, because I will go in there and like talk shit with the best of them. And I mean, I'm sure there's probably people who've had like their fair share of like beat off sessions to me, but no, nobody like just throws themselves at me like that. Cause I would like, they know I'll hit them with a fuck no, like real quick.
So you don't like to mix business with pleasure then, you're saying?
I'm not going to say that because my head coach is my boyfriend. So I'm not going to say that, but I've known him for years, and we were friends and acquaintances long before it happened. So, and I wasn't training at his gym at the time. And so it kind of took a lot of time before we got to that step. But no, yeah, I'm in a relationship with my head coach. I didn't mean to say like that.
So you fucked your head coach. I have no
filter.
When did you fuck your head coach? Let's talk about this. So you've known him for how long? I want to get the details here. So you've known him for how long before you started becoming romantic with this guy?
I was at another gym, and he actually came into the other gym to spar. And I knew him probably a good 3 years before anything happened. And then I moved away from that gym closer to the gym I'm at now, which is his gym, which is Modern Warrior MMA. And I had actually flirted with him and stuff, and I ghosted him. I was like, not interested, like too much going on in my life right now. I don't really want to jump into a relationship. And I ran into him at the local grocery store, and he was so nice. And he was like, oh my gosh, anytime that you want to come in and get some work, like, just come in, we would love to have you. And I thought, oh my God, I like ghosted this guy and he's so nice, like maybe I'll go in there. And it was like a stray cat. Like, I would go in the gym just to get extra work, and then all of a sudden I just started staying every day. And it was actually a really good while before we did anything, but we knew, like, we would be looking at each other like, you know,
it's going down.
Yeah, and now we've been together for 2 years. So.
2 years. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, I would love to. I know you have 2 sons, correct?
Yes.
2 sons over here, a previous relationship. So now, I mean, explain to me. You don't have to get super into details with that, but did you have kids young? Like, how old are your kids?
They're 4 and 6.
4 and 6. Okay, so so you were in a relationship. Were you married before?
I was married. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was married. This is my second go at it too. Give it another try, right? Trade him in for a new model. So you got married before. You had 2 kids. I'm sure, hey, it doesn't work out. It is what it is. You had 2 kids with this other guy?
Yeah, my ex-husband. So we had 2 kids. I had them super young. I thought, I was a teenager, like, I'm so in love and we should have a kid. And then I can get back to fighting if I do it young. So I had my first one, and it was definitely a planned thing. And then my second one was a surprise.
Okay.
So it was like, oh shit. I thought like I would never fight again. I was like, oh, this is it. My life's over as a fighter. Not my life's over, but my life's over as a fighter. No more career. Like, I got to be a mom. I can't do both. And I remember someone just saying to me like, oh, you'll never be able to fight again. And it really lit a fire under my ass to get back to it. Cause I thought, gosh, well, I have 2 kids. I got to get back. I got to show them that you can go for your dreams and not give up. And as long as you keep like pushing your nose to the grindstone, like that you can make it happen no matter what. So that's my goal with fighting and with them, is just to teach them that no matter what anybody says, that you can bust your ass and do it. My ex-husband wasn't too fond of the fighting. So that's kind of one of the big nails in the coffin for our relationship. It was just it was hard. Like, and as a fighter, it's hard if you are with someone in a relationship that doesn't understand the lifestyle and understand fighting. It's hard to be with someone like that.
Sure.
You know?
So when did you start getting into fighting? What was the earliest you were like, hey, this is kind of cool, we'll do this?
I was aggressive like the second I came out of the womb, but I really started training when I was about 13 years old. I got in a lot of fights in elementary school and middle school and then to high school, and so that was really the catalyst to my fight career. I was getting in a lot of fights, and I wasn't really good at anything. I sucked at softball, I sucked at cheerleading, I sucked at dance, but man, I was getting in fights all the time in school. I was getting picked on, I would fight, and then one day my wrestling coach was like, hey, one of the wrestling coaches were like, hey, why don't you try wrestling or something physical, because you're getting in a lot of trouble with fighting. So that was the catalyst. And I tried wrestling. I didn't really enjoy wrestling just because there weren't a lot of females. And I found a local gym that was a taekwondo gym, and I was doing jiu-jitsu out of the taekwondo gym. I tried taekwondo. I didn't enjoy the taekwondo. They had boxing at that gym, and when I went into the boxing class, I was like, oof, like I like to do this. Like, sure. So, and I don't want to say I was naturally good at it, because I wasn't naturally good at it. I was naturally aggressive and had the passion for it. But yeah, I had to work on my lousy, clumsy feet as a teenager.
Yeah, it's so funny. I want to ask this question. I'm all over the place, but the question about clumsy feet. When we first got to witness you in action, was your first fight in bare knuckle, and you did that walkout dance, and I didn't know what the hell I was watching. I thought it was a deer that was born. It was just like, what was going on? What were the moves about there?
Listen, I can't dance, and I know I can't dance. So people will talk shit, and I don't give a fuck. I'm not there to like be a professional dancer. I love to dance, but I know I'm not good at it. If I feel like I'm just gonna like flail my arms and my legs and my head, it feels good, it feels right, and it keeps me. When I do that, it's because I'm nervous, so I'm getting the nerves out. But I just feel good and I'm hyped, so fuck it. I don't care.
It was almost like a war dance. It was almost like, I don't know. I was watching there, but it was hilarious. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to laugh at you, but I was laughing. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what was going on? But we remembered. That's the thing. Like, you came out with this crazy entrance, and you were feeling the music. You got in there. It just seemed like you were having a good time.
Jumping around, yeah. just jumping and moving my arms, and in my head it feels like I'm so good, but I know I'm not. And I watch the video back, and I'm just like, oh my God, Taylor, you look so stupid, but whatever.
Do you think that's like, if there is a God punishing you for being so pretty, like, nah, you're not allowed to dance now. I can't give you everything.
Yeah, but I enjoy it, so I don't care. Just like I can't sing good, but I love to sing and I love to dance. I don't care where I'm at. I will dance or sing like a fool, and I know I look like shit. I don't care. Okay,
if you could sing, Taylor, we're gonna have to take you up on this. I mean, I know you're saying you can't. You can. What would be your favorite genre of music?
If you have not looked into my life, I bet you any of these people could like start commenting what my favorite genre of music is. I'll say this: I do love rap music, but there is one band that means everything to me. I'm obsessed with like 90s rock, and I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers more than life itself. So.
I see. Those guys are still kicking ass. It's kind of crazy. Like, I just saw them on Howard Stern not too long ago, where they're running around naked and doing that. They're tight as hell.
Yes, I used one of my fight purses to buy, like, spent the whole fight purse on front row tickets to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it's September 1st. So I've been counting down the days. I bought these tickets in October. So I've been waiting and waiting, and the time's almost here. And if I'm allegedly fighting August 27th, my concert's only like 4 or 5 days later. And anyways, it's my bucket list dream to see them live, and I bought front row tickets, and it's in one of the biggest stadiums in North Carolina, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready.
You know, it's funny you mentioned this because we just so happen to have Anthony Kiedis live on the show. Anthony, come on in.
Don't say that.
I'm kidding. I don't have that pull.
If you had that pull and he popped up on this camera, I would have fainted just fainted. Yeah.
Would your boyfriend give you a hole pass for Anthony Kiedis?
He has no option to give me a hall pass or not.
That's funny, man. All right.
He knows that, though. I've told him plenty of times. He knows. If you asked him, hey, what is Taylor's hall pass? Anthony Kiedis, 100%. He knows. He knows.
Okay. Under the Bridge, maybe you could give us a verse from that or something?
I don't ever want to feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't want to burn everyone's ears.
That was fantastic. Wow. Woo. Man, oh man. I don't think we've ever had anyone sing that fantastic on this show before. It's amazing.
I should have done my vocal exercises before I did that, but you know.
Are you the type of girl that sings? So you do seem like you like a lot of hip hop. I've seen on your social media, you're really into that stuff. It's kind of weird how you take a complete U-turn and go to the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, were you super into the Chili Peppers as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard them a lot as a kid from my dad, and I of course wasn't obsessed with them when I was a kid like that. I liked their music. I was like, ah. And then when I was in middle school, I had an iPod and I downloaded all of their albums, stuff I never listened to before. I would just spam download music, random music, and I would lay there at night and listen to music. And I remember the hardest times of being a teenager and being an emotional girl, crying in bed. And I would be listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, every single song on their album, and just it was my escape. When I had my iPod and the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing, it meant the world to me. It was my safe place. So I love them. I love them so much.
That's awesome. How do you say you are a bitch in the gym? You seem nothing like a bitch in it. You seem like the sweetest person in the world. Is there a switch that flips when you're fighting, you're training, that you turn into some sort of monster?
Oh, absolutely. My friend Dave Van Auken, he is Fight Bananas guy. He got to be there firsthand when I fought Hannah Guy in my last fight. And I'm actually really, I told him, I'm really happy, really sweet, but I can be a bitch. But because I take fighting so seriously. But anyways, I'm happy all day. It's fight day. He was with me the whole time. He was like, Taylor, when you went to walk out for your fight, I've never seen someone's demeanor just change like that. And of course I come out happy and peppy and dancing and stuff like that. But when I have that split minute in the back, I am just back there oh, I'm ready to murder somebody. And he was like, I've never seen you look like that before.
It scared the crap out of him, huh?
Yeah. He was like, holy shit. Yeah, I have a switch. It's funny because in the gym, I am funny and outgoing. I'm one of the bros. But, oh, yeah, the guys know that if I'm in a bad mood, I'm ripping heads off. Whether it's verbally or physically.
So do you think, and I'm always fascinated, a lot of fighters do this, they channel, they cage door, or they hop over the ropes or under the ropes, and they get in there, and all of a sudden, boom, that's it, it's over. Or even before in the walkout, like you said, there is a switch that flips. Have you ever found the root of where you channel this anger? Is it from when you were a kid, any sort of situation that happened in your life? Or can you pinpoint where it started?
Oof. Like I said, I've always been an aggressive kid. I've always had a switch. I think someone just commented we all have a switch. I think it's definitely developed into me channeling emotions. I used to be very angry and have a really bad temper. But now it's become man, I just sit and think about the hours I'm family functions. I can't go to family functions half the time when I'm in a fight camp. I can't do this or that, or I've got my kids in the gym 24/7 with me when we would rather be at Chuck E. Cheese, or this is what's providing their life. So I always think about stuff like that and channel that. And of course I've had some trauma in my life and things that have happened that I'm fuck that, I've gotten through all of that to get to this moment, so I'm not going to let anything slip through my fucking fingers. So
I mean, it seems like you've been through everything. I noticed in some of the interviews you were saying that bullying when you were a kid. I don't understand how they probably bullied you because you were too hot for the freaking school.
No,
was that what was going on?
I got a good story for this. I didn't glow up or like get cute until way later on. And I remember, like, this is a story from first grade. I had a crush on this guy in first grade, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like work up the courage to tell him I think he's cute. And I did, and this boy was like, you are ugly, and like you look like a boy. Like growing up, my dad had me, I was with my dad, he was single dad, so he always had me dressing like a boy. I didn't have like a motherly figure around to like doll me up and things like that. So my dad definitely had me dressed like a tomboy, and I always got told I looked like a boy and that I was ugly. So yeah. No, I think that kind of motivated me to get cute too.
So you just morphed into something cute. I don't understand, because it doesn't seem like, I mean, you don't seem like you have much makeup on over here. I mean, you're just natural. No. So, I mean, when did all of a sudden the switch flip? I mean, I'm looking at pictures of you. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I got to ask this question. Do you have an OnlyFans?
Absolutely. I don't have an OnlyFans. I have a TaylorStarling.com. So It's a fan time, but if you type in TaylorStarling.com, I do have a fan site. I get a lot of heat for that too, but you know what? I gotta make money somehow to be able to train full time, and it's either work a full time 9 to 6 job and not be able to fight, or do something like that gives me an opportunity to fight full time.
I say cash in on all the simps. You know what I'm saying, Taylor? You got to cash in on it.
Secure the bag, baby.
So I mean, yeah, bare knuckle. I mean, you have a little bit of a break in the action here. You do have 2 kids, for God's sakes. There's got to be a way to pay the bills. I say you work with what God gave you, man. Like, if you're an attractive human being and you can make money, some people are making bank on this OnlyFans. I mean, if I did OnlyFans, I would have to pay them to watch me, for God's sakes, Taylor. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So
I was just thinking in my head, like, you get $10 if you look at this picture. Like, that's what your subscription is. Everybody gets like $5 or something.
Yeah, I'm paying them to show up. That's what I do on this show. I charged everyone at the door. I was like, hey guys, listen, I'll pay you after the show's done. So where do you get up the courage? Like, I don't know. All right, I'm going to ask you the questions here. Do you like get naked on this website, or what's going on here? Or is it like scantily clad, lingerie? What's going on?
I do a little bit of everything. So your first week subscription is free. So anybody that wants to go and find out, I definitely do a little bit of everything.
Interesting.
Because like for me, I don't know. I've just never been. I'm pretty free spirited, and like if I see a girl's boobs or stuff, like it doesn't bother me. Or if I'm naked, like I don't care. Like it doesn't get, I'm not like, oh my God, whatever. Like I don't get embarrassed about stuff like that, because I'm pretty damn confident too, and like stuff like that, I'm just like, it's a naked body. So
yeah, I don't think that way. I see a naked body, I get all charged up. My wife has to lock me in a cage sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like it gets pretty bad. So like it was funny. We made the thumbnail for this video over here. I'll show it right now. And
with my butt.
I had to show the booty. In fact, YouTube shot us a letter, so I had to put the little emoji over it. We actually had your ass out in this picture because I felt, hey, if you you got to flaunt what you got. If I had an ass like that, I'd be showing it right now. But YouTube says, hey, you got to do something about this. So of course we put that little emoji there. How do you pick up the courage? I mean, you get in a ring and you fight for a living, right? Under big lights, a crowd, the whole deal. You can get in front of whether a camera or whatever, and just disrobe or whatever. Are you having sex in this thing, or is it
on
just
my OnlyFans?
Yeah, or is it just
no?
Okay,
no.
All right. I was making sure here. I was like, wait.
People go and try to like steal my stuff and post my content, so like I definitely keep that well aware. There's certain things that like I'm not just throwing everything out there. Okay. I know that there are fighters that like have sex on there, or even just OnlyFans people that like do have sex on there and do things like that. But at the same time, there are things that I do want to keep to myself for my man and for my private life. So yeah, no, you won't find me fucking on there.
Okay, fair enough. I had to ask, listen, because they're going to be jumping to your website. I want to make sure they understand all the details. This audience is charged up. They're all horny. So what does your boyfriend think, though? Like, hey, I'm going to hop in my lingerie and do a little thing. Does he help out with this situation? Does he film it or anything like that, or take pictures, or is he separated?
He supports it. Like he we haven't done anything where he's like shooting content for me or anything like that, but he knows. And like anytime I do a photo shoot or anytime I take sexy pictures at home, he's the first one to get them. He supports it 100%. It's hilarious. Like everybody in my gym has like a shirt or a rash guard that says like taylorstarling.com or like pictures or like t-shirts with pictures of me with my ass out like in a photo shoot, and they just like support it, and they'll always like it's like a big joke, and everyone's super supportive. Like my gym is the best, everybody's so cool there, and he is an awesome boyfriend. He is just like do it. Who cares?
So Glove Touch in the chat says your boyfriend fought in MMA. What's your boyfriend's name?
Keith Richardson.
Keith Richardson. That sounds. We do
the rock star.
Hold on a second. Let me see that. Let me check out this guy here, Keith Richardson. Yeah, we did our live play-by-play for them. XMMA is awesome. The rock star here
he beat Daniel Strauss in XMMA.
Oh, I know who this guy is. Oh, that's pretty freaking cool. All right, so you got a handsome man over here. Look at that. Look at this hunk.
Look at him.
Yes,
He's so
yes.
cute.
Got to find a better picture of this guy. But yeah, Keith. Yeah, I know exactly who this guy is. He's on a 4-fight win streak over here. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. Wow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Wow. I would fuck this guy. I mean, Jesus Christ, and I'm straight. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm all over the place. So, I want to go back to you said that, you got into the fights as a kid. And I noticed that, people were saying that you were into, like, you dabbled into some drugs as well, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a rough patch. My life, like I said, I'm from Albuquerque. My life in Albuquerque got pretty rough pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Just because my mom was on drugs and I had to move out at a really young age and figure out life. And I had a boyfriend that was in college and partying all the time and friends that were doing drugs. And, being a teenager, I didn't understand, like, how... I don't know, like I just didn't even understand like strength and conditioning as an athlete, but I was so fucking young. Mm-hmm. So I definitely was around a lot of drugs. I started dabbling in drugs, and it's one of those things where like I didn't have like a crazy addiction or anything, but I could see that things, like I remember looking in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like I look like shit. And this is not like if I don't stop now, like things aren't going to go so well. And what actually was a catalyst for me moving back home here is my best friend committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
And he was taking multiple drugs. He was doing steroids and like just all kinds of things that like we really didn't even know about. We just thought like, oh, hey, this guy like smokes a bunch of weed, but he was doing a lot of things on the side and partying. And unfortunately, I think that was like one of the main things that caused a chemical imbalance in his brain. And yeah, my best friend committed suicide. And I went off the deep end, like just like, oh my God. So my dad, he called me. He's like, hey, I think it's time for you to come back this way. So I did, and it was one of the greatest things ever. But like growing up in Albuquerque and being in those rough situations and having a rough upbringing there made me who I am. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be who I am without those kind of things happening.
Do you see therapy? How are you so like you're so chill and like down to earth right now, and you have all these crazy stories? Did you ever see a therapist along the way?
I actually didn't even start seeing a therapist until recently. I actually found out I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1. So like I said, I like used to have like a really bad temper and like all kinds of crazy emotions. I'm all over the place emotionally. And I just found out recently that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1. So that was like, it was kind of that moment where I was like, but once I found that out and went through the struggles that I went through, it really helped me harness my emotions. And now I can realize like, I feel this way because of this, or my emotions are like that because of this. And don't get me wrong, I still have like my crazy moments. Like I said, like I will rip people's heads off sometimes. But it also has really helped me become stronger emotionally and mentally. And going to therapy was one of those things where I was like, fuck that, I don't want to go. And I even still to this day have a hard time with it. And things like taking medicine or doing anything like that, I was so against it because I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. But now I've like really grown a lot, and it's helped open my eyes and really become comfortable with myself. So
I appreciate you sharing these stories and how honest you are. I mean, you know, I know it's probably weird to talk about, especially to an interviewer that you don't even know. But I mean, the fact that you could share something like this could probably help someone. You ever think about that? Like by sharing whatever you've went through, maybe other people could find some sort of answers in their lives?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me when I found out I had bipolar disorder 1 was I felt singled out, and it made me feel like a crazy person and like something was wrong with me. But it opened my eyes to see that like a lot of people struggle with that stuff. A lot of people struggle with anxiety and depression, and a lot of people are bipolar and they don't even know it. And there's a lot of people with so many different mental illnesses, and I hid it for a long time to where only my boyfriend knew and maybe my family, and that was it. But I wouldn't talk about it. I didn't want to. And I think that was worse. Like it made me react worse. Like I just was really upset about it. And then once I started talking to like my therapist and I started talking to other people, I realized like, wow, like it's a lot more common than you think. And so now I was like, all right, I think it's time for me to really talk about it and let people know, because it's really not like some strange oddity and you're not like a crazy freak. And
did you have moments where you felt like your head was just scrambled and it was rambling like thoughts, or you took on too much that you can, like, I have a cousin that has bipolar as well, and in fact I bet a lot of people, maybe I even am bipolar, I have no idea. I mean, we had John Doomsday Howard on, and he got diagnosed with autism at 30 plus years of age, almost 40 years old. So I mean, a lot of us, we have no idea when you deal with all these depression and anxiety, like it could be linked to something. It's wild. It's like I have really bad bouts of mania, so I will talk non-fucking stop. If I have like a really bad like manic episode, I'll do something like really spontaneous, or I'll do something like just talk non-fucking stop. If you're on my Instagram, you'll know when I'm having like a manic episode, because I will post a story and there's like 100 stories of me talking about just something fucking random. I'll be like, yeah, I was at the grocery store today and some guy started talking to me, and then I'll realize, I'll go back and look at my story and be like, oh my fucking God, like you are manic. And then I have times where I can't sleep. Like I can't sleep at night or things like that. Or like emotions. I have some pretty wild emotions. I'm a big sensitive crybaby, and I'm also like a raging bitch, and then I'm also hilarious. So it's like everything that you can think of, but it's a lot more normal than you think. So I think usually people like take bipolar disorder as like someone with like switching their emotions like every second, and it's not like that. Mine's more so like I become talkative and crazy, and I'll do spontaneous things that are just like off the fucking wall. And like what about like random sexual experiences? Have you ever done that from bipolar? I heard like bipolar people have a heightened sex drive.
yes absolutely.
Okay, are the kids in bed? Okay. Yes. Where's the craziest place you did the naughty dance?
Ooh, I've done it while driving.
Wait, you were driving?
No.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't Keith, so I don't. I'm sorry, Keith. But me and Keith have done some pretty weird shit. So me and Keith done some weird shit. But I did have sex while driving one time.
Wow. And no.
Well, I wasn't driving. They were driving, but I was a passenger. But
how many pedestrians did you guys mow down on the way to the Intercourse Highway?
Yeah, none, but it was definitely very scary.
I bet. I tell you what, our chat is on fire right now. I think they're all falling in love with your stories over here and your honesty. So I mean, I'm an open book. I have some crazy shit I can talk about. And what's the craziest? The craziest drug I've ever done was weed. Not very exciting. What's the craziest thing that you've done over there in Albuquerque?
I want to say the one thing which is like crazy, because a lot of people get addicted to like coke or meth or something like that. I was hooked on ecstasy. I loved ecstasy. The craziest drug I've ever done though is DMT, and I did that not that long ago, and that was more so like the Joe Rogan effect. Like I saw all the stories on Joe Rogan. I had a friend that had it, and I was like, I want to do it. I don't do drugs or anything like that. Like, I can't smoke weed anymore because I get super paranoid and crazy, and my anxiety goes through the roof. But I was like, you know what? I think I want to try DMT just one time just to see what I see, and I will never do it again. And
Really?
some people say they have like a magical experience. I will never do DMT again. That shit like scared me beyond belief. But I'd say like DMT was the craziest drug I've ever done.
What's it like? I'm going to live vicariously through you. Were you seeing like hallucinating? Like what was going on?
I didn't, like, everyone always talks about how they have like this crazy carnival blast off to another world and there's elves talking to them. My experience was simply this. I died and I was on Space Mountain. Like, I was going through this tunnel with like vibrating shapes shifting, and I was dead, and I didn't know who Taylor was anymore. Like, I can't say it to where it makes sense, but I had died. And there was a man that was like narrating my trip, and he was like, you're dead. You cease to exist. You're no longer here. Nobody knows who you are. Once you're on the other side, like, the life that you were in before doesn't matter anymore, and it's all gone, and you're on to the next thing. Wow. And it fucking scared the shit out of me.
Do you fear death in real life?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. The last time I smoked weed, which was probably like a really long time ago, I laid in bed and was just like, someone's coming to murder me tonight. Like, I just like that's how bad like I am with like smoking weed or anything. I lay in bed and like think of impending doom, and that comes with my bipolar disorder. So if I do anything that heightens that, I'm always like impending doom. I'm gonna die. Like, something's wrong. So yeah, it scared the fuck out of me. And now, I mean, I'm not really scared of death. Like, I know it's inevitable, but I mean, anybody that sits and says that they don't sit and think about like dying and like I don't know, death is scary. That sounds horrible. Nobody wants to die.
I'm terrified of it. I never believe people like, I'm not scared to die. I'm like, bullshit, you're scared to die.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's bizarre. I got I put a tattoo of a battery, a charged battery on my arm because I like full of life. I like things that, I don't know, I'm so fearful of just things ending, whether it's a loved one or I just can't stand it. Animals. If an animal dies, I cry like a big baby. Is that weird?
No. I am the same way. I'm so sensitive, and like, I don't like hearing about death. I don't like seeing anything. But no. And I've watched a lot of like serial killer documentaries, like every crazy female does, and like that shit freaks me the fuck out. I'm always like, oh my God, Ted Bundy would like come and get me. Like,
that's how my wife is. If I put a horror movie on for my wife, she is just like, she looks at me and is like, oh great, that's gonna happen to us now. Like, we're watching Saw, and now we're gonna be chopped up in a game. So I'm assuming you're not a horror movie fan then?
No, I actually love horror movies. I like the old school stuff. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite of all time. I have Freddy Krueger's catcher's mitt on my arm because I love Freddy Krueger. And when I was a kid, the only movie that got me was The Exorcist when I was a kid. Like, that movie really fucked me up.
And they're supposedly doing it all over again. Like, they're rebooting this whole Exorcist thing, and they're just going to throw it the new wave of Exorcist. Do you think they're going to screw it up, or should they just leave it, let it be?
They should leave it.
Yeah.
I think they should do that with all the fucking movies. That like I don't like remakes too much. The Exorcist, though, that's such a fucking classic. Like, don't do it. There's too many like exorcism of Emily Rose and exorcism of fucking Hillary Duff. I don't know. Like, I think there's too many exorcism movies, and the first one really fucked that one got. I think everyone has at least one movie that fucked with them as a kid, and that was the one that got me. I would.
Where can I sign up for the exorcism of Hillary Duff? Like, I would love to see that. I think you're onto something with that movie. When I was a kid, I was terrified of Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I love Freddy is like, he is the OG. They rebooted that. It was terrible when he was like a pedophile, and I don't know, it was weird. But when I was a kid, I mean, the most terrifying thing in the world is to fall asleep and then some guy trying to kill you in your sleep. Like that, there's no other more terrifying thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, that one I thought was like cool. I was like, ooh, that one's cool. I remember like just being fascinated by it. And before I could even watch it, I would hear kids talk about it, and I'd be like, oh my God, I have to see that movie. And then I did, and I just thought it was hilarious. And I've always loved that movie. Classic. Like, this is such a classic movie.
I see someone put Candyman out there. The original Candyman was great.
That's a good movie. That's a really good movie. When he has the bees all over him. Oh, that's like, yeah, that one stays in my brain. That's a good one. But it didn't scare me.
It did, yeah. Well, I mean, it was just an interesting movie. But, like, what do you think? They redid that one, and now it's like this whole woke thing. Like, everyone, like, what do you think of this cancel culture, woke society that we live in right now?
You're trying to get me canceled. I think there's a little sensitivity things going on that bother me. I kind of try to stay to myself. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about my opinion on things that everyone seems to have an opinion on, just because I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like there's so many people that think what they think about everything, and like whatever I say, there's either going to be people pissed off or people that agree with me. So fuck it, I don't care. But I do think there's like the sensitivity. Like, I'll say with like Instagram, my page got reported for promoting violence, and I'm like, my fucking career is violence. So like, I'm just promoting my career on here, and they didn't like that. So that, like, that kind of stuff bothers me, but you know, I stick to myself and stick to my guns. It's
got to be trickier as you grow as an athlete. I mean, you're undefeated in bare knuckle. You may or may not be fighting for a championship in the next fight. I don't want to spoil anything, even though we know what's going to happen, Taylor.
Yeah.
And you're going to win, of course. We actually, you know, it's funny. I'm Facebook friends with Christine. I never had her on the show, but is there any heat between you and her? Like, I know what happened.
I don't want to sit and say personally, because there's nothing like personal, but like at the same time, the fight game is personal. Like, I'm going to be standing across from Christine in a ring alone, and we're going to be fighting, and it's you or me, and that's fucking personal enough. And yeah, I think she's great with the way she talks. I respect Christine as a fighter. I think Christine's one of the baddest to ever do it. I think that she's amazing, but at the same time, like, all the mind games and shit, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll play them right back. So I'm excited. It's just personal in a sense of like, we're fighting, and this is my life and her and my career and her life. Like, that's it. It's that simple.
There you go. And have you ever had a lead up to a fight where you're like, oh, I want to kill this human being. Like, I cannot stand this person.
No.
There you go. Look at that.
I don't like to fight like that with anger in my heart. Like, I'm going to take my shots. If Christine's going to talk shit, like, I'm going to talk shit right back. But I don't really hate anybody, and I don't want to fight anybody that I, like, really genuinely hate like that. I've had people, like, after I fought them, like, not get along with them, but that's just because they're salty people. So.
When you're in these wars, and I'm not going to keep you much longer. I'm going to grab some questions from the chat, and I got a couple of my own, and then I will let you go. Play with the dogs. Are the dogs all right? I don't hear them at all. Are they okay?
They're probably like passed out or, I don't know, tearing my room to shreds. But either way, it's fine. It's fine.
What does it feel like? So we had a couple of bare knuckle athletes on here. Caleb Harris is a friend of the show. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome.
What a sweetheart he is, right?
Yeah, such a good guy.
He was telling us how, like, the body shots, like, that's the way to go, right? You don't want to keep punching someone in the head because the head is hard, right?
Yeah, it hurts you more than it's hurting them.
So as you, yeah, that's not good, right? That can't work out well. So as a fight progresses, do you say, screw it, I just want to put on a show, I want to put this person down, or can you regroup and find yourself to work on that body?
Say what you just said again. I'm sorry. I was like,
I probably worded it all.
I was listening, and then I stopped listening. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I was listening, and I stopped.
My whole audience says that to me on a regular. It's fine. So if you're fighting someone, right, and you're in the heat of the battle, I mean, we've seen some wars where both you and your opponent were just like, it was unbelievable. It looked like a horror movie. Do you go on pure adrenaline? Do you abort mission? Say, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna punch the face as much as possible, punch the body. The game plan's out the window. Like, does things change as the fight progresses?
I always see a fight for me as problem solving. So I think I don't want to go in there and like blow my adrenaline and go in there and like, I never try to go into the fight with the idea of like, oh, I'm going to go finish somebody, because I feel like that's the way to disappoint yourself. So I always think just go in there and I love a war. I love a 5-round fight. I love going all the distance because I love being able to pick back at that fight. Of course, I love a finish. Like, everybody wants a finish over anything. I want that more than anything. But I would say, like, I love when someone gives me something that I want to use what I learned the whole fucking camp. Like, I just put in months and months of training and trying to put a game plan together. So I want to utilize like what I worked so hard for. So I like to problem solve. I'm a problem solver. I go into a fight with a game plan of what problems they're going to bring me, and I'm in there to solve it, whether it's with a finish or whether it's just technically outclassing somebody.
And do you hear the crowd as the fight progresses, or do you just zone out everything and you're just focused on your opponent?
For the most part, I zone out everything and just I can hear my coaches clear as day. But it is like the last fight when I fought Hannah Guy, there was at one point where they all were chanting, Taylor, Taylor. And I was like, oh, shit. That's cool. Other than that, like, I don't really listen to that shit. Yeah. I just listen to my coaches and look at what's going on in front of me.
This picture over here I'm showing, I mean, it is wild. Like, this is a sport that is not for the faint of heart. When we first started watching, I was like, whoa, what am I watching here? Now I can't get enough of it. Like, when you leave a fight and your face is in that situation over there, do you, like, what's the pain like? Is it the next day? Do you feel it immediately? Like, what does it feel like?
Oh, yeah, it definitely hurts immediately. The one thing with bare knuckle is it's such superficial injuries for the most part. Like, my hands were super swollen after that fight. My face was very swollen and fucked up. And I am not going to lie, like, for 2 or 3 days, like, I couldn't really drive. I couldn't open doors and stuff. That was a really rough one. But for the most part, it's crazy because you look like that and you feel like that for a couple days. And then boom, it's just all gone. Like, instantly, and you're like, oh shit, I just feel like Wolverine. So it's really not that bad. Your face has the most blood vessels and blood flow. So of course, when you get hit, it's gonna swell up worse. It's gonna bleed worse. It's gonna be worse. But it also means that it's gonna heal faster. So.
Are you fearful of your hands injuring have you ever had any long-term injuries with the hands?
No, I fractured my hand my last fight with Hannah Guy, and I really didn't even know until like 6 months later because I was just kind of like, fuck this. Like, my hand's just hurting. It'll go away. And it didn't for a little bit. And then I had like a slight fracture in my hand. Other than that, like, to be honest with you, it sounds bad, but like, I don't give a fuck about my face. I don't give a fuck about what I look like. Of course, I don't want to be injured. I don't want brain damage and things like that because I do have kids. But like, all the superficial, like, I don't give a fuck if my nose is over here, and I don't give a fuck if I look crazy. Like, that doesn't bother me at all.
There you go. Wow, you are a tough son of a bitch. Like, I mean, I don't know. I have so much respect for everyone that gets in there and does this, whether it's bare knuckle, UFC, whatever it is. I mean, I have so much respect. And now that you're in the bare knuckle world, would you ever go back into MMA, or are you like, no, this is my home?
I really, like, my dream is to fight for bare knuckle as long as possible and retire one day with bare knuckle. And I'm still young, so, like, I have a lot of time. And it's crazy, but that's really what I want to do. It's one of those things where if I had to go back to MMA and just things for some reason didn't work out with bare knuckle, then that's the way that it goes. But I would realistically, in my dream and in my goal set, is to be in bare knuckle as long as I can and finish out my career there. It sounds crazy, but I'm really happy there.
There you go. It's all about being happy. You get one life, right? You got to be happy with that life. Hey, chat, if you have any questions for Taylor, rattle them in quickly. Taylor Starling, Killer B, is the 3-0 bare knuckle fighter, maybe fighting for a championship in the near future. Looking forward to seeing her come back and compete. And I got to say, you're easily, like, you're one of the more easiest people to root for. I mean, you're a sweetheart in an interview. You're a savage inside the ring. It seems like I hope David Feldman's going to be doing the right thing for you, because you're a star for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's funny. I always hear that. I'm like, I see it, but I don't. I'm like, I'm just myself. Like, I am crazy. I've done all the craziest wild shit, and I'm just here to fight and be myself. That's all I want. And I mean, if people love me along the way for it, then that makes me happy. I love everybody right back. That's
awesome. We got, let's see over here. She's so pretty. I'm in love. Cute. I mean, a lot of nice stuff over here.
Thanks, guys. I'm like not even ready for this, but thank you.
She's awesome. My favorite fighter. She's so nice. From the glove touch over there. How much? Here's the question. How much for? This is from Lieutenant Dan's legs. How much for? You know where this is gonna go. How much for used fight shorts?
It just depends on what you offer me. It would have to be pretty good though. Like not washed. Or like I've learned now. I've learned having a fan site. There's some freaks up in here, so it's like, does it matter if they've been washed, or are you trying to have like the juices, or like what? Like what is it you're looking for? It would definitely have to be some pretty good money on that though.
Well, he followed up and said sweaty as fuck, so I mean that's what he wants. Of
course. Of course he did.
Sick fucks. Someone asked for my Gremlin underwear one time. We actually shipped underwear out to someone in our community, so I can only imagine what's the craziest thing someone asked of you?
There's so many, but this one really always, like, my favorite story to tell is someone asked me if I would be willing, if I got paid enough money, to come and fart in their face, like come, and I was just like, first of all, like, I can't fart just on command at the drop of a dime. So it's like, what do I do? Would I have to like prepare? Do I have to like go to Taco Bell, or like what? I didn't have the conversation, but in my head I was thinking like, huh? Like, how am I supposed to, like, how do you do an arranged meetup for me to fart in your face and like know that it's gonna happen? And like, I don't know, it was really weird, and it definitely made the wheels turn in my head. And sometimes people just say shit like that just to get a response out of you. But yeah, that was one of the weirder things for sure.
That is quite odd, but you know what? I mean, you seem like a business person. I'm sure there might be a part of you that's like entertaining. Well, you know, it may not. If the price is right, you never know, right?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about farting in someone's face though.
That would be. How do you explain that to the kids, right? Well, son, I'm on my way to work. What are you doing, Mom? Well, I'm gonna fart in someone's face.
My kids would think that's fucking hilarious. They're 4 and 6. They're 4 and 6, and they're both little boys. Like, they would just be like, ha, like that's funny. Like, they would just laugh.
Silvatone says, do you like guitar players? Apparently this person plays a guitar. Do you like guitar players?
I think it's cool. I'm not like, oh my God, like a man who plays guitar, but I think it's dope. I played guitar. I can play guitar. I'm not the best at it. I can play guitar. I know a couple of songs on the guitar, and I learned it in school. I had the option in school my freshman year of high school to join band or join a guitar class, and so I did that. And I think it's really cool, and I'm very envious of people who can really play guitar, like, really well.
Taylor, if we ever start a dysfunctional band over here, would you like to be in our band?
Of course. What position am I in?
Well, I can only play, I say rhythm guitar because I can only play chords. That's it. Like when I was in a band, it was just chords, just cycles of chords. If someone asked me to do a scale, I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm good. So I don't know, guitar, whatever you'd like to play, Taylor.
Can I get a tambourine?
Tambourine. Well, we had you, you were singing on the show. Maybe you could sing for us. What do you say?
Yeah. Yeah, and no one would ever listen to us again.
John, yeah, maybe. I don't know. We have a weird audience. John says, how much to spit in my mouth? Okay, maybe a different question. How much to spit in someone's mouth?
Wait, ask me that on TaylorStarling.com. First week is free, and then after that it's $9.99 a month. But TaylorStarling.com. That's a pretty
good deal. So people could live interact with you while you're. What's going on? Give us what's going on. So you're on a camera. You're interacting with people, or is it just pictures?
I've got pictures, I've got live streams, I have tip menus, I've got a little bit of everything going on.
Holy cow. I swear to God, if I wasn't married, Taylor, I'd be subscribed to this immediately. I don't pay for much, Taylor, but I might have to pay for something like that. My wife would not be happy with that, so I would not do that. But anyway, to the young girls out there, I have a young daughter. What would you say to the young girls out there that are aspiring to be a bare knuckle fighter? What kind of advice would you give them?
I always give the most cliche advice, and the only reason I do is because it's just so true. Just never give up. I truly believe that champions are made when they are given the worst fucking shit stick of life and they just keep going. There have been plenty of times where life has just knocked me on my fucking ass, and I was like, fuck this, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, even when I felt like I wasn't going to be able to keep going. So if you just work hard, I always say work hard and be a nice person. Like, if you're kind, I enjoy being overly kind to people, or trying to, at least, unless they piss me off. But I always try to be overly nice to people and just work my ass off. Like, if you have a good work ethic and you never give up and you just keep going, no matter what anybody says, you can do anything you want at all, whether it's be a bare knuckle fighter or a professional sweater knitter. I don't know. Whatever you want to do in this life, it's yours, as long as you work hard, you're kind to people, and you just stay the course. Like,
isn't it awesome that you put yourself in a place where you could actually be an inspiration to people?
Yeah, I enjoy it. When people tell me that, that's probably the greatest compliment I ever get, because I look in the mirror every day and pinch myself and I'm like, you are who you are. Like, sometimes it's hard to believe. Like, it's crazy when people say that. I'm like, I'm just little old me from South Carolina, just trying to make a living. Like, so you know. That's
so cool, man. And that you're completely grounded. It's amazing. Well, Taylor, listen, we got a couple of donations in queue. People are saying this is the best interview. I mean, we've been doing this for 6 years, and you are the best interview. How about that?
Wow. Thanks, guys.
Hold on a second. Wow.
I got a standing ovation.
Wow. The chat's just so sick of seeing dudes, let's be honest. I mean, come on. Taylor, here we go. We got some donations over here. And this is from... His name is Sober Carl.
Hey Moss, it's Dat One Girl birthday today, and since she's one of the boys, is there any way Taylor Starling could sing happy birthday to Dat One Girl, please, Taylor?
So we have
Dat One Girl.
Her name is Dat One Girl. Yes, we have like 3 women in our community of a savage of bunch of men, and it's her birthday today, apparently.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Dat One Girl. I think that's what it is. Happy birthday to you.
All right, look at that was beautiful.
I'm the people's champ for a reason.
Thank you.
D Booker has become a member, says happy birthday, Dat One Girl. So there we go. Another happy birthday, Dat One Girl. And that was very sweet of Taylor to do that. We have something else coming in. This is from a
super chat.
This is Jonathan Joshua. Let's see what he has to say.
I'll say it since no one else will. How much for dinner and a movie?
First of all, you have to literally fight Keith. If you have to fight Keith, the Rockstar Richardson, and then after that, I probably would still say no. So, I mean, we could have virtual dinner at TaylorStarling.com.
There you go. I'm gonna put Keith on it. Hey, listen, Keith is watching you guys. Be careful.
Keith is watching.
Settle down, boys. What do we say? Do you see wedding bells in the future with Keith, or are you taking it slow?
Listen, I have been harassing this man. It's hard because, like, I try not to, but I'm such a woman that, like, I find myself like, I don't care. And then I'll be like, we should go into the jewelry store, or like something like that I'm just like, fuck, you know, like I'm being a woman about it. But I mean, if Keith doesn't put a ring on it, you know, I know he will. He's a smart man. He's got one of the baddest females in the game. So
there you go.
Just, we're not rushing, but I do find myself like, I want to marry him.
If he doesn't put on a ring on soon, I mean, you're going to be going to dinner with that guy in the chat, right? Let's see. We got something else over here. Oh, here we go. This is the glove touch.
I wish I didn't have exams today. I would have been on here. We'll get one in before August.
There we go.
100%. I adore you. The Glove Touch is sponsoring me for my fight, and I adore you. And I hope that your exams are going well, or are going to go well if you haven't done them yet. And I love you. Thank you so much.
He's a great kid. He came into this community, and he's only 16 years old. He's doing interviews. He's traveling to events, media, the whole deal.
The graphics and the pictures and the everything, amazing.
Yeah, he's great, and he's working on our Instagram now too. This kid's a savage, an absolute savage.
He's a stud.
We have someone else, one more coming in over here. This is from Sonosi.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Taylor, how would improve women's MMA since bare knuckles knows how to be more fun? Moss wants heavyweight classes for chicks.
Okay, so something we spoke about earlier, we always have these discussions. How do we make women's MMA a little bit more exciting? Because bare knuckle women's bare knuckle is fantastic. But when it comes to the UFC, we've had a lot of duds in MMA. I say put in a heavyweight class because I think the big girls need some fights. I'm being completely serious. I want to see the biggest girls out there. We have heavyweight sloppy men. Let's go with the ladies.
One of my best friends, and she was a former full-time training partner with me. Her name is Lady Tapa. She's a professional wrestler and a professional heavyweight boxer. And she fought Gabby Garcia for Ryzen. And she's a monster, but that was the biggest struggle. She was like, man, I want to fight, but there's nobody that's letting the heavyweight females fight. And there's not that many heavyweight females fighting. So I agree. I think that would be awesome. I don't know. I think I might get chewed out for this one, but I think that, the shit talk and stuff, if you're not into that, that's fine. But at the same time, it's sometimes you have to realize doing that stuff is kind of you just got to put the personal aside and just do it for the fun of it and make it a little more exciting yourself. Figure out how to put your spin on it and how to put that sauce on it, Is
there someone that's in the, say for instance, the UFC roster? Do you follow the UFC at all, or are you just all bare knuckle now?
I do somewhat. There's certain things if you have asked me, I would be huh. But the funny thing is I will watch the bare knuckle fights, but I'm really not too into watching too much fighting, which is such a contradictive thing. But I do keep up with some stuff in the UFC. Okay,
there you go. So hey, why do you have to watch anyone else? You're going to be a champ soon, for God's sake, They're going to be watching.
Yeah.
Hey, Taylor, listen, I really appreciate you coming on here, and thank you, Glove Touch, for making this happen over here.
Yes.
I can't wait to see you fight again. If you have any last words to this gnarly community over in that box down there, here's the time to do it.
All right. Thank you, the Glove Touch. I appreciate you, and this has been awesome. It was so amazing, and thank you for sponsoring me. Thank you guys for having me on. Everybody watching in the chat, thank you for listening to my story. It's a wild roller coaster of life, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I love you guys just as much as you love me. And I'm gonna go take a shower because I smell like shit. So.
P.U. I smell you through the camera. It's just crazy.
You probably do. I look a lot if I took this hat off and this jacket, you would be like, oh my god, the Crypt Keeper entered the chat because I just secured it all with
Let's see what you got over here.
No,
I want to see the hat.
No.
All right, Taylor. Hey, listen, thanks for coming on, and feel free to come back anytime before your next fight. I would love to see you back on here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right, there she is, Taylor Killis B. Starling on the show. Let's go, baby.
Woo!
There is Taylor Starling on the MMA-Holes Live. What do you think in the chat? I thought it was wonderful. By the way, I was able to conduct that interview, and I did pay attention to the background over there as the Rangers are up 5-2 against the Tampon Bay Lightning. Let's go, baby. Come on. Game 1. Whew, let's go Rangers. What do you guys think of Taylor Starling? And thanks again to Glove Touch for making that happen. We honestly, we were due to have a female on the show. I think Taylor kicked ass. And easy to root for, right? Easy to root for. Let's see what the chat has to say. Another great... Thank you, the Guzarian. Appreciate that. Thank you, Big Dog, as well. Look at that.
Wonderful.
Let's see. It was hilarious watching you guys in the chat, man. Shoot your shot. It was great. Moss definitely caught the kiss and put it away for later. No, I was directed towards you guys. Let's see. Rangers or something. I missed you over there. Famous interview. Props to Glove Touch. Yeah, thanks to Glove Touch. She's effing hilarious. I mean, right? Like, here's the thing. If you're going to come on this show, we need people to be open and honest. She basically peeled back everything and said, hey, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this. And I mean, it was just nuts between the drugs, the website that she's got going, and go check her website out and, you know, I don't know, beat off to it. I have no idea what you guys do over there, but hook her up over there. She killed it. Superb, likable, great interview, says John. Thank you. Glove Touch putting in work. All I did at 16 was smoke weed. Yeah, Glove Touch. Listen, Glove Touch is a very talented young man. He says, I get no bitches. You will, Glove Touch. You will. We need more chick interviews. I'm down. Listen, I am totally down. Here's the thing. We are, on this channel, we're a little rough on the lady fighters. I mean, let's be serious here. We're rough on the girls. And, you know, when it comes to UFC. But I have no problem. I have no problem with interviewing anybody on the show. If you have a good backstory, if you're a badass that makes the walk, whether you have 0 wins or you have 100 wins, it doesn't matter. If you make that walk, I'm interested in your story because it's something that I couldn't get myself to do. So a big shout out to everyone that, you know, whether they're in BKFC, the UFC, they're on the regional scenes, they're amateurs, whatever. Much respect to them. They're saying 6-2. We got another goal here. Let's see. It's 5-2. The Rangers are on the power play. Panarin at the point. Come on, drill that fucking thing in. I might be behind on the stream. But we're going to talk a little UFC. There it is. Oh, my God. Zibanejad. Oh, fucking A. I love this. So I'll talk hockey for a second. I'm going to move off of it completely. Tampa Bay swept the last round, 4-0 on the best team in the league, the Panthers, the President Trophy winning Panthers. And everyone's like, oh, Tampa's going to just roll over the Rangers. Now, listen, this is only one game, but I've been watching hockey for a long time. If you're going game 7s and you're going to be playing a team that just swept the previous team, you actually have the advantage. You're coming in with, you know, warm legs, whereas these guys are coming off the couch. I know they're practicing, but they're not game ready. And it's showing right here as it is 6-2 Rangers. So let's go Rangers. Let's go, baby. Woo! Javian gonna murder me. No, I mean, honestly, I couldn't have said that I'm married any more times on the interview. Listen, here's the deal. It is good to have female fighters as well on top of, I mean, all we do is have like guys on the show, so it's good to mix it up. So shout out to Glove Touch for making that happen. We're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're gonna roll into some Volkov versus Rozenstruik. Give you some time to subscribe to Taylor's website. Go over there, check it out, and I'll be right back after this quick break.
Let's be honest, when it comes to underwear, there's nothing more important than comfort. Why empty your pockets for generic underwear that loses comfort, quality, and style when you can slip into a pair of Sheath and get even more out of your daily wear? With Sheath underwear, you can treat your jewels like royalty as they are given their own private sanctum, keeping them secure and you in a state of bliss. Get 20% off Sheath now using promo code MMA-Holes. That's MMA-HOLES with the link in the description below.
And for the ladies?
Absolutely! Sheath isn't just for men. Ladies can now experience Sheath's style, comfort, and functionality too. Sheath for women is crafted using a signature modal elastane fabric blend for form-fitting breathability that will not affect the natural pH environment or the microclimate of the skin while producing that long-lasting, unimpeded comfort. Use promo code MMA-Holes, MMA-HOLES, for 20% off at sheathunderwear.com.
UndisputedBelts.com. If you're just jumping in, we had the bare knuckle fighter Taylor Starling live on the show. The 3-0 savage Taylor Starling. Taylor Starling. Jesus Christ. I'm all over the place. My ranges are in the background. I need to move them away so I don't see them. But thank you again, Taylor, for coming on. And if you missed the interview, run it back and let us know in the comments section what you thought of Taylor. Yeah, let's talk here. We have a fight that's going down Saturday night. The UFC. I was looking at it some more to see if I was going to make another bet on that thing. And I still don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm actually taking this week off. So in the chat, if you're placing a bet on this, I know maybe on Friday something will jump into my mind. But as I look at it, I don't like this card for betting. I like this card for watching. I have no problem with the fight night. That's the appetizer for the Glover return against Prohaska. But, you know, some decent scraps on here. I just don't, nothing is standing out. I want to put money on Biggie Boy as an underdog. I'm just not quite yet confident. I have to wait for the face-offs to happen. So maybe when they weigh in, they face off. Who knows? Maybe I go for Biggie Boy, the Suriname beast of a human being against Volkov. But I can't pull the trigger right yet. Got mybookie.ag promo code MMA-HOLES for 100% matching your first deposit if you're going to place a bet. And I'll let you guys know as the week progresses. Here's the card over here, checking it out. And, you know, both guys haven't had the best of runs. You know, they've been up, down, up, down. This is a coin flip to me. It really is. There is something pulling me in the favor of Rozenstruik, though. There's something that keeps on sucking me into that direction. So we shall see. But let me know in the chat. I'll put a poll up right now in the chat, and let me see what you guys are going with. And maybe you'll convince me. I'll go, who wins? We'll put a little Volkov. It's a good fight, though. Not terrible. I think this one actually will pay off. I think this will be exciting. In fact, I see finish. I think it's possible that we can get that finish in this fight. Rozenstruik. Guy's got an interesting name. All right, did I spell this right? Rozenstruik. Okay, here we go. We got to ask the community. Let's get you. Okay. I like both fighters. Volk, hold on, I lost you. Like both fighters, Volk for his experience. Where the moose knuckle, bare knuckle chick, did I miss? Run it back. Yeah, she just exited the show. She stayed on longer than I anticipated, but usually if a guest is interesting and goes with the flow, it's usually more than an hour. If they're boring, you'll know. Like if I'm like, okay, this is not interesting, we cut it off about 45 minutes. Uh-oh. Spank away. Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani. Come on. Ariel Helwani. I was fired. Ariel Helwani. You gotta beat your meat. Dana White doesn't like me. B-Man.
Did Moss say sucking Ariel?
All right. I don't think did anyone say sorry? Thank you, B-Man, for the wonderful, wonderful donation. Dropping the 725.
Wonderful.
By the way, I didn't mention this earlier. We have a brand new donation, and I am sorry. We got rid of the 666. There is a brand new donation, and if you look in the description, you'll find it. 666 is no more. We were looking, and I was like, get out. I don't know. I feel like it's overstayed its welcome. Jesse hated that donation. So we have a new one. And I'm sorry. Inspired by Drunk Savage. So when people throw ideas out there, it's not like it wasn't completely... the genre is inspired by him. And then I'm sorry again if you're watching. It's in the description down below. Sober Carl says I hated that one. Okay, so yeah, it's gone. We have retired Get Out. So Get Out is gone, and we went to another donation. It's in the description down below if you'd like to be the first to do that. Looking at the poll over here, and let me pop it up for you guys. Here we go. Me. Okay, here we go. So Rozenstruik and Volkov are 50-50. Wow. Damn. Well, now you know why I'm a little reluctant to bet on this fight. This is why. It's very, it's a tricky one, which makes for a good matchmaking because, if you have a poll this close, the UFC did a good job putting a fight together. You don't want anything lopsided here. You want something that's like, you scratch your head like, I don't know who gets this one. So Volkov versus Rozenstruik, who the fook wins? Get your votes in. I want to go over to the news. I did listen to Ariel a little bit today. My goodness, when did Jorge Masvidal become so fucking boring? When did that I was literally skipping, so I was behind on the interview, and I was just tapping and skipping through to try to get to some juicy stuff. And he is, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the whole Jorge Masvidal movement. Now, would I want to see him fight Conor? I don't think it's smart for Conor, yet it would be a very exciting fight. There's no way that fight would suck. So I would like to see that. The problem is he has 3 charges against him. He could be facing some jail time. So it's like, how do you put any fight together when you have a guy that's, in trouble with the law? So Jorge Masvidal, he says something like this. We got a little MMA Island over here. Shout out to MMA Island. Allegedly this, allegedly that, but I'm innocent. I'm not guilty. I'm facing 3 felonies. If you want to know the exact truth, it's still pending. Covington is a fucking coward. Well, I hope this all gets, taken care of. We can move on from it. But how do you call someone a coward when you showed up with a bunch of dudes, the hood over the head, the mask over the face, and you jump somebody? Isn't that the biggest coward move in the world? To jump somebody. Not even let them know you're coming. That could possibly be the biggest coward move of all time. I feel like everything that Masvidal says, it just doesn't make any sense. It irks the hell out of me. I don't know how anyone could support Masvidal anymore, says Drunk Savage. Yeah, I mean, it's just he keeps on saying dopey things. So weird, so bizarre. And you would think that he has the right people around him. I don't dislike Masvidal. I know it comes across like I'm not a Masvidal fan. I don't dislike him in any way. I met Masvidal. He was a very nice guy in person. I just feel like the decisions or the way he's putting together his approach to whether it's, social media, he did all right with Pahea's wife. He defended himself right there, but it just didn't. Is it coward or ninja? I mean, I guess that's one way of looking at it. I guess, yeah. He's like, no, I'm not a coward, man. I'm a ninja. I mean, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know what to think. But yeah, that's how he responded to Ariel in a very strange, slow interview. So put a 1 in the chat if you actually got through that whole interview. I did not. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I wanted to do it for the show. I know it's my job to sit there and just, absorb this kind of content so I can give my opinions and, whatever, deliver it to you guys. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't possibly be paid enough to sit through a full interview. So let me know in the chat what you think about the Jorge Masvidal situation. The lawsuit might get even worse because Colby is claiming brain injury and is no longer medically cleared to take a fight. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, I did hear that. I mean, if he could prove that he's got some sort of brain damage. I mean, he has brain damage, but I don't know if it's from Masvidal, to be honest. I didn't even watch it. Can't stand Masvidal or Ariel. Yeah, Ariel, listen. Ariel does a good job at getting the names. He's put himself in a position where he's comfortable and, he gets the people that you want to hear the interviews, right? The people that are hot in the news he gets. He had Jordan Levitt on today. I didn't even listen. This is how much, I'm kind of veering off from Ariel. I can't get through the interviews anymore. I just can't do it. And I love Jordan. We're going to have Jordan on in 2 weeks. Jordan's a great guy. I did hear, I heard one part, though, of Jordan. What did he say? He said something like how he's kind of shutting down social media, 20 minutes a day, that's it. He doesn't want to get, social media, he doesn't want to overdo it because he's got a big fight with Paddy coming up. Jordan's going to be a good interview in a couple of weeks over here. We always have a good time with Jordan. People like Colby Lynch, people like Jorge, you feel me? What? Jorge is a deadbeat father. I wonder if he thinks I'm talking shit about his family. I mean, he did. I did hear the part where Jorge said, his kids were asking him about the situation, about what Colby said, and I don't know. He was just kind of playing like victim. He wasn't saying. I don't know. It's just weird. The whole thing's weird. Jill had a nice piece about Pimblett leaving Levitt fight. Yes, I did hear. I did actually hear that. Listen, when Jordan's involved, I tune in, because we get Jordan on the show over here, and I love that Jordan's getting exposure. I do, even though we were basically the first. Let's be honest. We cared about Jordan before anyone else really did. Let's be serious here. I am watching Hockey Aim. I am watching. I got it. I got it on. Don't worry. But the Rangers got such a big lead right now that I could actually perform. What was I going to say? Yeah, so it's good to see Jordan get exposure. The guy's fun. He's quirky. If Jordan could beat Paddy Pimblett, I mean, he's going to be unattainable. The guy is definitely going to be incredibly famous, for sure, with his quirky style. But Jorge, yeah, I really don't have much to say. Do I think he should fight Conor? Of course, it would help him. Well, I mean, he would make a ton of money off of something like that. You know what I'm saying? And Conor, would do well as well. Well, I don't think it would be smart for Conor to take that fight. There's really no upside from it besides money. He can make money anywhere. So I think the Nate Diaz fight would make more sense. Or if they threw him in some bizarre top-ranked fighter at 155, it would make more sense. Or just a tune-up fight. Because let's be honest, even though Jorge is on a couple fight losing streak, he fought the top guys at 170, and he's way more warm than Conor. Conor's cold. He's on his fucking Lamborghini yacht. You guys see this over here? Hold on. Just eating protein shakes or slurping protein shakes and let's see. and riding around in very expensive yachts. Okay, maybe not here. Okay, he's tweeting and deleting. Let's see, the Notorious. You gotta check out this guy's yacht. He's got a gym on his Lamborghini yacht. Like, it's just this guy, he doesn't need the money fight. He is the money fight. You know, it's nonsense for Jorge to say, "Oh, it's a big paycheck. Why would you turn?" He would turn it because it doesn't make sense. He's riding around in a fucking Lamborghini yacht. You think he needs? He's like, "Oh, I gotta fight Jorge Masvidal." Jorge acting like this man is hurting. Dude's riding around like the fucking a Batman boat, like whatever, the Bat boat. I mean, Jesus. But like I said before, you know, Conor, he still hasn't fought in a while, and he's coming off a pretty dangerous injury. I think it makes more sense for a guy like McGregor to, you know, fight someone he could beat. Do the whole Cowboy Cerrone thing again. You know, don't fight Cowboy again. I'm saying fight someone like that. That is a name that is very beatable. And I think that a Tony Ferguson fight, although it's dangerous as well, I think is a more logical fight, I think. I think Ferguson is perfect. But we'll see. And yes, this is a gym on his yacht. He's got a little fucking gym on his yacht. I mean, the dude's got he's got disgusting money. It is kind of disgusting. It's sickly. Look, food. He's got food on his yacht. No. McGregor can beat Masvidal. He can. But here's the thing: if McGregor comes back, right, and he fights Jorge, if he comes back and he fights Jorge and loses, it's a massive step back. Massive step back. He's got to go in there. He's got to go in there calculated. Jorge's dangerous right now. Jorge is coming off losing to the champ, the pound for pound GOAT, and he's coming off a fight with Colby Covington, who was his former best friend. He was all up in his head. Whoever Jorge fights next is in for some hell. Unless they're a grappler, they're in for hell. Like Gilbert Burns is the guy they're throwing out there. I think Jorge Gilbert Burns is the fight to make. That's the fight. Jorge brought it up a little bit. Yes, that's the one to put together. And it's a fire fight. It's fantastic. Let's go. Fireworks all around. That's the fight to do. But of course, Jorge, you know, he wants to get paid the big bucks. He wants to fight Conor. I get it. The thing that we were talking about before, Jorge Masvidal, we don't know with the law what's going on. When can he fight? When is he going to be cleared from these charges? We don't know. So if you're Conor McGregor, you're staying away from that. You already got your opponent planned out. You're training for that opponent, and you know, once you pitch it to that, who's going to turn down a Conor McGregor fight? Who's going to turn down the Red Panty Night? Nobody. So Conor could literally pluck one athlete from the roster and say, I'm going to fight this person. And there's really nothing anyone could do about it. You know, so we'll see what it is.
That's why I wanted a fan, a sold-out crowd to walk out that tunnel, blow the roof off this place, and look over and see my son like, wow, Dad, that's you. And see the look on his face, you know, wow, Dad. Wow, Dad.
You make me feel so proud, Daddy Cowboy. Make me feel so proud, Daddy Cowboy. Don't cry, Daddy Cowboy, don't cry. You're making me feel so proud.
And see the look on his face,
Daddy Cowboy.
wow, Dad. Wow, Dad.
Had to test the dono. Sorry, Ann. Also the funniest thing, Jorge will make Conor the cash. Ah ha 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 ha. New level of delusion.
Thank you. Sonosi is the first person to play our first dysfunctional country song on the show. Let's go. The 650 Daddy Cowboy. Make him cry. We take out, get out. We have crying, make Cowboy cry. Daddy Cowboy. Thank you. Thank you, Sonosi. Appreciate that. Okay, let's move Let's move and see what else. Oh, God help me. All right, let's scroll. A bunch of things to talk about over here. So we're gonna back that ass up a little, as we've been MIA for a little bit. Kamaru would stand him up. All right, so this is the John McCarthy thing. We kind of talked about that before. It's just ridiculous. Does anyone agree with John McCarthy? Yes or no about Nick Diaz piecing Kamaru up on the feed? Let me know in the chat. Answer says we're dead. We don't have a cowboy donation, and why not put a country song together? You know, Dad a cowboy, make me feel so proud. Dad a cowboy. All right, what do you guys think about Nick Diaz's chances against Kamaru Usman? We're not gonna stay long on this one because it's kind of ridiculous. We got a fight in hockey. Yeah, there's a little scrum up against the boards right now. It's 6-2, 146 left. It's going to make a very interesting game 2. Wow, foot, man. Just rabbit punching Mott. What the hell, man? Yo, these guys aren't even fighting back. Wow, Tampa. So Tampa is the bigger team. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is getting ugly. Put on ESPN, friends. They are getting... Here we go. We got a brawl going on here. As the refs are trying... No one's really separated, though. Oh, boy. Reeves, enforcer, is trying to get it there. He's smiling, laughing. Some big guys on Tampa. I don't know if you want to be scrapping with Tampa. There's the former Ranger, McDonough. They're still trying to separate these guys. This is gonna be an interesting series. Some bad blood here. The last time the Rangers were making a run, Tampa knocked them out in 2015. And here we are again. Tampa is the oh, here's a fight. Here we go. They broke out in a different section of the ice. You don't see this in boxing. Wow. They're going to be delivering. Wow, man. They are. Wow, the ref gets taken down. The ref gets taken down. Oh, my God. The ref is sandwiched. This is amazing. This is amazing. Oh, God. Good luck giving penalties to these guys. The refs, they have no control. Let's go. I want to hear the crowd. The crowd is probably going wild right now. Hey, listen, to people that are fight fans and don't watch hockey, you may want to watch this series. Oh, this is amazing. I want to see a full... We didn't see a full-blown scrap, though. A lot of tackling and wrestling. But I want to see fists fly like the old days. Refs are doing whatever they can to separate these guys. Anyway. Shit. Damn, man. Florida's coming out. Maybe the closet. That's about it. Only thing I like about hockey, says Bruce, it's the only team sport where you're allowed to do this. Although, like, they are cracking down. They are cracking down. So now they're pulling some people. It's at the end of the game. A lot of equipment on the ice. I don't understand hockey or soccer. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. 5-on-5. Whoever has more pucks in the net wins. That's it. I mean, you have, like, you know, your offsides, your icing, your penalties as well. But, I mean, if you understand the logistics of how to win the game, I mean, and soccer, I don't understand soccer, but I understand, hey, whoever has more goals wins. So, I mean, you could watch it. But soccer doesn't have fighting. There's too many guys on the fucking field. It's too, like, finesse and, I don't know, tight shorts and shit. Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Tropic!
The cup of tea wants to kiss your hand. Donald Trump, can I kiss your hand? Kiss your hand, kiss your hand. Trump, you have a delicious hand.
A lot.
Here's the thing. It's one thing to lose to the champ, but is there anyone on the UFC roster that you would really hate to lose to more than losing to Colby? Losing to Colby guarantees it will come back to haunt you like a herpes flare-up.
Yeah, I mean, that was literally the worst possible scenario for Jorge. That's why I'm saying the next fight, for whoever's fighting Jorge next, I mean, you're going to be fighting a very violent human being. So I'm looking forward to seeing... I hope Jorge doesn't go to jail. Let's be serious here. Like, I mean, I don't think he should have done that, what he did. It is what it is. We move on. But I would like to see Jorge fight again. They're handing out these penalties here. Thank you, Tropic Tom. And hey, thank you to everyone that donated tonight. You guys have no idea how important you are to this community. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Keeping us afloat. We got a lot of things going on. We're switching up with some sponsorships and whatever. So, you know, you guys are helping out tremendously. You are the backbone of this show. He called out Conor. I think Conor is a dangerous fight for him, too. I'm not saying Chandler chinny or anything, but he gets hurt a lot of his fights. And guys like Conor, you know, they can punch. So there's Dustin Poirier talking about potential Conor versus Michael Chandler. Don't really have much to say unless they put that shit together. I mean, I don't know. Paulo Costa, which we didn't get to talk about yet. Paulo Costa, apparently someone was trying to... Oh, hold on a second here. Okay. He allegedly elbowed a nurse at a vaccine clinic and got, like, snatched up. So I don't know what the hell happened with this, but he says he's not guilty with crying emojis. Like, Paulo's a weird dude, but to, like, what are we elbowing nurses and then getting, like, having security get involved in shit? Like, what? Like, what the hell? What is going on? I don't know the story. I don't know what's going on with this, but he says he's not guilty. Let me know in the chat if you think Paulo's guilty. And honestly, is he gonna fight Luke Rockhold? Is that gonna happen? Like, I know they're paired up, but are we ever gonna see him fight in the UFC again? Is he gonna miss weight? Is he gonna pull some clown sideshow thing? His roid rage got out of control. I think Chandler, but I don't think he is chinny and could get knocked the fuck out. Guilty, says Colin. Yeah, guilty or not guilty? Let me know in the chat. Paulo, no need vaccine. He's the hardest. Paulo don't need no vaccine. Yeah, all he's got is his wine. That's all he needs. We're the ones that bone you in the back. Got it, backbone. That's right. Fight is in August. Yeah, I know, but like, what's going to happen? Is he going to pull, hey, I can't make the weight. We have to fight a weight class higher. Is he going to pull that shit again? Nurse got into his wine bottle. He tried to take the vaccine card without getting the shot. Is that what it was? Just trying to snatch it. Guilty, guilty. Neither with an attitude. The knitter not liking that donation. The $6.50 donation is not a hit with the knitter. Guilty, agreed, guilty. Guilty, says Taps and Tingles ASMR. Let's look at this poll. Volkov or Rozenstruik. Let's check her out. And Volkov is up 56%. So the slight favorite the chat is going with, but a lot of people are thinking Biggie Boy can do it. Interesting. That feels about right. That does. That feels about right. Started off 50-50. Volkov kind of moving away. Keep your votes coming in. Curious to see how this thing winds up. Let's see what else we have here. A little Izzy. 9 seconds left. The Rangers have won the game. So no need to talk about that anymore. I guarantee you, Izzy, you have jerked off to cartoons once in your life, says Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis. By the way, Chris Curtis is coming on, is it next week? When are we having Chris on? Haven't had him on in a little bit. He's coming on next week, yeah. So Chris is coming by next week's show. And him and Sean Strickland have been going back and forth a lot. But here is Sean Strickland, who wiped blood on the schmo's face, doing a little stuff.
Not be the champ anymore. No, man, I like Izzy. Besides the anime, he's a little... I like Izzy. He's a tough motherfucker, you know. Besides the anime, the guy probably jerks off the cartoons. I hold that against you. Guarantee you. I guarantee you, Izzy, you have jerked off the cartoons once in your life. Don't fucking lie to me. Anyway, sorry. That needs to be said. That needs to be said. Bye.
Okay, what do you think? Do you think Izzy I think he does. I mean, I think he would admit it to it, right? I don't think that's a bold statement right there. I would imagine Izzy does jerk off the cartoons. I mean, I know that's not a horrible thing. He's into that stuff. Some people jerk off the cartoons. I don't get it, but it's their thing. What do you think in the chat? A quick yes or no. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna the Volkov wins this poll. It's time for another poll, a special poll in the chat. Let's see. Does Izzy? I'll put Spank to cartoons. Okay. Does Izzy spank to cartoons? Okay, let's drop this. I mean, this is the poll that everyone needs in the community. Polls coming in. Incoming. Poll incoming, guys. Get your votes in. Does Izzy spank to cartoons? Okay, this is a fantastic poll. Might be one of our best polls. Let's see if people agree with Sean Strickland over here. And then, listen, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Get your votes in immediately. Sean Strickland. You make me feel so proud, Daddy Cowboy. That song got so stuck in my head the other day. Don't cry, Daddy Cowboy, don't cry. Julia Budd versus Kayla Harrison. Shout out to our new social media expert. Are we allowed to say it? I don't even know. I don't know if we have the green light yet. But Julia Budd, maybe a little less exclamation points in the posts, because it looked like when this was announced, actually they have an exclamation point over here too. It's like, why former Bellator champ Julia Budd meets returning PFL champ Kayla Harrison at PFL 6 on July 1st with an like, oh my God, like all right. I mean, I guess it's probably her toughest opponent to date. So, anyone ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he would dress as a girl bunny? No. I used to spank to Elma Fudd. But yeah, that's happening. So, a little step up. I don't think it's really going to be an issue for Kayla. Sue Merderji. How do you say this guy's name? Sue Merderji versus Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell is the guy that puts his head sideways back and forth. Like watching him fight. Add to UFC Long Island. So yeah, UFC Long Island. Back in New York. I think the last time they were there was when Chris Weidman fought Gastelum. I was in the building for the last time they fought in Long Island. That was a while ago. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Here's the Jorge thing. And this, he's a pretty freak athlete. He's the fastest guy I've ever sparred or fought, by far the most speed. I'm not trying to be a complete asshole, but he's not the smartest human being inside that cage. TJ talking about Cody. So actually giving a little bit of respect to the speed. Of Cody Garbrandt, but then following it up with him not being the most intelligent human being. Okay. A backhanded compliment from TJ Dillashaw. I feel like TJ's got to get back in there quick, man. Like, you came off a fun fight to watch. It's like, we're waiting too long. We need more TJ. You've been out of the fucking sport for a while now with the whole EPO. Let's go. Are you fighting for the belts? What are you fighting? Like, what's going on here? So, does anyone give a shit about this? I don't know if I do. I know a guy who spanks the Lois Griffin from The Family Guy. Pepe Le Pew. Marge Simpson. How's it going on? Sexiest children's cartoon character, the dancer, lounge singer, and maybe a droopy dog cartoon. I mean, Jessica Rabbit is like the only thing I could think of cartoon-wise back in the day with Roger Rabbit, right? I mean, I don't know. Although, when I was a kid, Eric Larson's Mary Jane was like it was unreal what he used to draw with that. So, that was very spankable. I know a guy named Spanky. Do you? How's Spanky doing? I hope he's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? All right, let me see if I can find anything else. I don't know if Jesse pulled stories, but let me check it out. We don't have much time left in the show, but let me see if I can pull some more stuff to talk about. If you got anything you want to chat about, throw it in the live chat before we dismount. If you're just jumping in, we had Taylor Starling on the show. She was fantastic. Hour plus, spoke to the people. We had some good laughs. We talked about some crazy stories. And she's an open book, so go check it out. Check out the comment section down below and let us know your thoughts when the stream is done. Don't cry. Let's see. I haven't looked at the memes in a while. Let's check this out over here. Stop women's MMA. Kevin Holland fight. Yeah, Kevin Holland has a fight. He does have a fight. Okay, here's Sonosi. A little pride. Actually, a happy Pride Month to oh yeah, I want to say this. Happy Pride Month for people like, I'm leaving the community. I might as well get this out of the way. Okay. There are people in this community that they watch 3-hour shows that we do, 3.5, sometimes 4-hour shows. Like we do 8-hour shows for the fights. You know, we go a long time over here. We talk about a lot of things. We make a lot of inappropriate jokes. There are people that will hear one inappropriate joke out of a 3-hour plus show, zone in on that and say, that's disgusting, I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my fucking pussy hurts, and then just leaves. Without even making mention of the fact that as the show progressed a little bit, we spoke about how, our real feelings about any topics that we're speaking inappropriate about. Okay? It's nonsense. If you can't handle a joke, okay, you must leave. And if you criticize someone for making a joke about something that's serious, we make a lot of jokes about things that are serious here. Like, there's really not much off. We make a lot of unnecessary, insensitive jokes, but it's all, just a cheap laugh. We move on, and at the end of the day, we have heart. If you're going to cast a stone at someone for making a joke that is insensitive or inappropriate about a tragedy or whatever, right? You better make damn sure that in your life you've never made a joke or giggled about something that was tragic before. Because I think it's kind of impossible for a human being to say, that's fucked up. I can't believe you said that. And look, if you look back in their history, they didn't say anything about, there was no giggle about the fucking World Trade Center falling or something like that, or just some horrible Pearl Harbor joke or something. I don't fucking know. Ridiculous. No one is perfect. No one is pure. But at the end of the day, we have something here on this show. Actually, at the beginning of the day, I should say. Every day that we go live, we show this. We show this. It's a warning. Okay? The following show features extreme stupidity, foul language, and 2 uncomfortably attractive hosts. The MMA-Holes features opinions intended for an immature audience. You see what we did there with the MMA? See that? Look at that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do not take any of our horsing around serious. We are just a bunch of MMA-Holes. Now, guys, in any sort of comedy, joking, there's going to be something that's going to piss you off, right? There's going to be something that is just, you get uncomfortable about. If you're doing a 3-hour show, there's going to be something in there. If you spend a bunch of time with a community and then all of a sudden say, oh, because of that one instance, I can't watch anymore, you are a pussy fart. Plain and simple. And it's Gay Pride Month, so, it's understandable. But you are a pussy fart. Okay? Just saying that. Complete pussy fart. You gotta have a little bit of a thick skin over here to roll with the punches. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Well said, Moss. Everything in moderation, but some people are too sensitive. Yeah, listen. If we were going hard in the paint about the same thing over and over again and talking about a tragedy and constantly fucking going on and on about that, yeah, you have every right. But to take fucking 2 minutes out of something, not even 2 minutes, like a fucking 10-second comment and take it out of context, you're a piece of shit. It's that simple. But I've looked at it like this too. Here's the other side. I think what happens too is there are a lot of people that spend a lot of time with this community, too much time. So they are looking for an out. You need someone to blame, right? They're like, if you're spending too much time, I don't know, jerking off, you have to point a finger in some direction to stop you from jerking off. You have to blame someone. I don't know. I think that's what's happening too, because throughout the years of doing this, almost 6 years, in August, 6 years, some people have left the community out of nowhere, just uncharacteristically would throw like fucking shade in our direction. Like we're a horrible bunch of people, right? And probably they wanted to move on with their life. Like they just realized they were spending too much time in chat rooms. They have to pull their lives together. So I have a feeling that's probably what's going on. People do that in life. People come across things that they have to do for themselves. They have to blame someone else has to be the sacrifice. That's probably what it is. I spent too much money on the show. I'm leaving. Yeah, like Sonosi, for instance. If Sonosi's like, you know what, fuck you guys, it's probably because he's in debt and there's too many Sonosi 1K King donations. So I'll give Sonosi a pass. But we've seen a lot of it. You know, a lot of people just like throw shade at us. You're horrible. You're a piece of shit, this and that. When they got to take a look at themselves. But if you left because you're soft, you don't belong here. It's that simple. It is that simple. So to the people of the chat, the people that are not sensitive and the people that are just here to have a good time, whether you do like the joke, don't like the joke, agree with the take, don't agree with the take, at the end of the day, this show is to remove you from reality. It's to remove you from normalcy. It's to remove you from, even if we talk about real things, it's so bizarre and so out of control and outlandish that it's supposed to remove you from reality. That's what it's about over here, to pull you from your problems. And then when we go offline, you can go right back into whatever's going on. But we're here to pull you away from that. So to the people that understand how this fucking community works, I salute you. I salute everybody. And give you a crowd ovation. Come on. The people, the real savages, the people that fucking get it. You are MMA-Holes. You are wonderful, wonderful. Now, after that silliness, I do want to thank everyone, seriously. Whether you like or dislike us, just the fact that you're hanging out here with us, I appreciate every minute of it. I thank you for hitting that like button and supporting us that way. To the donators out there, you guys work hard for your money, and the fact that you invest in this show to keep us going and giving us the ability to say whatever's on our mind, our true, pure opinions without someone, breathing down our backs and necks and just saying, hey, you can't say this, you can't say that. We do interviews on this show recklessly and open because we don't have anyone to answer to but the people. So the fact that you guys financially support us, the fact that you guys keep on smashing like buttons, the fact that you guys share our videos on social media, you guys are absolutely wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Tropic Tom.
I'm having to suck dicks at truck stops to cover the cost of these donations. I blame Moss for being uncomfortably attractive and promoting the concept of sucking dick for a buck.
I am sorry that you have to do this, but listen, this is what you do for your country, Tropic Tom. You must suck dicks to keep our show going. Thank you, appreciate it, guys. Savages, love you guys, and we will be back Friday night. Friday night we'll be back for Fuqua Friday. The Rangers will be playing. I'm gonna try not to torment you guys as much. It's almost over. We got one more series than in the Stanley Cup. It's getting interesting. Next week there's like Thursday and Tuesday games, so you don't have to be subjected to it. But Friday, we will talk about the fights. I'll see if I could try to pull a bet together, or maybe we'll just do a silly parlay just for fun. Try to figure something out on Friday. But we will be back for that. If you are watching on the replay, I would love to know your comments in the comment section, or if something pops in your head and you'd like to chat about it in the comment section down below, just chat away. Let us know, and that's it. That's all I got to say. Thank you to our sponsors, Headrush, MyBookie.ag. We got Sheath Underwear. We got ESPN Plus. Check out the links in the description. MyBookie.ag. The promo code is MMAHOLES for a 100% match in your first deposit. It's MyBookie.ag if you'd like to place that bet. Thank you again for joining in. Thank you to the people that donated. Thank you for Sonosi playing the Cowboy Cerrone donation. You make me proud. Daddy Cowboy. And don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.